Marvin Gaye was one of the greatest American soul singers of all time. But as we listen to his melodious voice, we have to remember his upbringing and life's journey was not easy. He had a tumultuous relationship with his father. He struggled to succeed with his music at one point, and he even once quit music for a very different career. Join Facts First to learn about Marvin Gaye's life and career, his reasons for quitting music once, and his tragic death. Marvin Gaye Jr. was born April 2, 1939 in Washington, D.C. His mother, Alberta, was a homemaker, and his father, Marvin Sr., was a preacher. He grew up in a housing project, and the family lived on a modest income. As a child, he began singing in church, while his father accompanied him on the piano. He loved singing and clearly had a talent for it, as the congregation would offer praise for it. He also sang in school concerts, and by the time he was a teen, he knew he wanted to pursue singing as a career. While his father supported him and helped him become a great singer, he was also brutal if the young Marvin made mistakes while singing. Marvin Jr.'s childhood often consisted of beatings from Marvin Sr. each time he made a mistake. At times, Marvin Jr. couldn't handle this at all and fell into a deep depression. He often considered suicide, but his mother encouraged him to pursue singing and was always gentle with him. While a high school student, he joined local doo-wop groups, and this relatively new genre influenced much of his early music career. At 17, he dropped out of high school and briefly served as a basic airman in the U.S. Air Force. However, he had trouble following orders and was discharged from the Air Force. His first professional group was the Marquis, which he formed with his friend Reese Palmer. Eventually, it fell under the management of Harvey Fuqua and was renamed Harvey and the New Moonglows. At this time, Marvin began composing music as well as singing. The band had moderate success with a few releases, but not much came of them. Marvin eventually left to pursue a solo career. He relocated to Detroit and had met Berry Gordy, the founder of Motown Records. He signed to Motown's subsidiary, Tamla Records. He began performing solo songs, and eventually he became a well-known singer. Some of his best songs from his early career include Ain't That Peculiar, I'll Be Doggone, and Can I Get a Witness? Many of his earliest great songs were also duets with Tammy Terrell. It was also around this time he added the E to his surname. Before we tell you more, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Marvin Gaye once quit music for a very different career. Tragedy struck Marvin in 1970. By this time, he had become one of the most popular soul singers of his generation, but he was still not a major star. Tammy Terrell, his duet partner, had sadly been diagnosed with cancer, and she died from it in 1970 when she was only 24. Naturally, Marvin was devastated by this death. So much so, he decided he would never perform or record music again. He had always been a fan of the Detroit Lions and wanted to play on the team. Unfortunately for him, though fortunately for us, he wasn't allowed to try out for the team as then-coach Joe Schmidt didn't want Marvin Gaye to get injured playing football. He had no choice but to return to music. Marvin Gaye's comeback. In the summer of 1970, Marvin returned to Motown and decided to record his next album. It was called What's Going On, and it's still considered one of the greatest albums of all time. The title song was inspired by the Watts riots from 1965. The Vietnam War also had an influence. The song laments the violence that surrounds war and is arguably one of the most melodious protest songs ever. The song was such a success that Marvin was given more creative control over his music. Some of his best songs during this period included Inner City Blues, Mercy Mercy Me, I Want You, Got to Give It Up, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and Distant Lover, and so many others. Of course, the other great album released during the 70s was Let's Get It On, and the title track from this album is one of his greatest love ballads. Marvin was now the most popular soul singer in the world. He performed at concerts all around the country and around the world. He was featured on popular music programs like Soul Train, and he seemed unstoppable. But this came crashing down in the late 70s. He divorced his wife, Anna Gordy, Berry Gordy's elder sister. He fell into a depression once again and even developed a cocaine habit. His 1978 album, Here My Dear, was a major flop. But just as he managed to recover from the death of Tammy Terrell, he found a way to make a comeback when the 80s approached. He had exiled himself to Europe and lived in Belgium briefly. He ran into tax problems and had serious financial issues. Yet it was in Belgium that he recorded his last great song. From the apartment he was staying in Belgium, he recorded the album Midnight Love, which was in tune with the changing sound of the 80s. The biggest hit on this album was Sexual Healing, which became the other love ballad he became most famous for. His tragic death. While his father was no doubt proud of his success, Marvin Sr. and Jr. had many issues over the years. On April 1, 1984, one day before his 45th birthday, Marvin was at the family house when his parents got into a fight. His father began beating his mother and was brandishing an insurance policy while hitting her. Their argument revolved around an issue relating to the insurance policy. Marvin intervened and tried to pull his father away. This only angered Marvin C. more. Marvin Gaye pushed his father and ordered him to stay away from his mother. Marvin returned to his room thinking the commotion would be over. A few minutes later, Marvin Sr. entered Marvin Jr.'s bedroom and shot his own son with a .38 pistol, instantly killing him. The irony was Marvin Jr. had gifted this gun to his father for Christmas. Marvin Gaye's death shocked the music industry, and his father, who received a 6-year suspended sentence, later stated his regret for his actions. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite song from Marvin Gaye? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to FactsVerse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. By the way, if you haven't joined FactsVerse as a member yet, be sure to look below this video and click the join button. By becoming a paid member of FactsVerse, you'll get access to exclusive video content that you won't find anywhere else. This includes some of our more mature content that isn't suitable for public audiences, which includes topics like Hollywood actresses who posed for Playboy and some of the steamiest moments in movie history. Plus, you can enjoy these videos completely ad-free. Our biggest fans will notice they also get badges next to their name when they leave comments on our videos. We pay special attention to comments from our members, and so do other viewers. So if you want exclusive content from FactsVerse or inside access to discussions with other community members, click the join button to get started for just $4.99. There are hours of members-only videos waiting for you, with new videos added every month. And we're actively working on bringing even more features to help fans like you connect with other members and get more of your favorite content. Just click join, and we'll see you inside the membership tab.